Welcome to the Live Wide Open podcast. I'm your host, Randy B. Ramirez, the high performance mentor, and I'm here to lead you to become the best version of yourself. This show raises the bar for all the motorsport enthusiasts. Holding it wide open, it's just what we do. Being a good person is who we are, and living our lives to the fullest is the lifestyle that we choose. Yo, let me ask you something, my brother. When was the last time that you truly felt alive? And I'm not talking about like paying the bills alive. I'm not talking about like answering emails alive. I'm not talking about sitting in traffic, I'm feeling alive. Dog, I'm talking about that moment when your heart starts racing, when it starts pounding, when your focus locks in, when you feel that fire in your chest that says, yo, this is what being alive fucking feels like. Yo, and if you're like me, that's passion, brother. If you're like me, you feel like that every time you get on a motorcycle, you drive a race car, you drive something that's fast. If you're like me, then you refuse to let that fucking fire die. Because so many of us accidentally let that fire die. And I'm here to remind you. I'm here to wake you up, my brother. Then do not let that fire die. Let that fire reawaken. Let that fire shine bright. Let that fire guide you. Let that fire help you produce more results. Because I'm busier than ever, and I could tell you that me feeding my fire, me feeding my passion, me feeding my fuel has my soul on fire, and I have more passion, more grind, more stamina, more everything in me to produce and to fucking kill it in every other area of my life because I keep feeding my soul. And that is just the fucking absolute truth, bro. And that's what's crazy about it. You see, we grew up loving machines. If you're like me, you love machines too. If you're on here with this wide open movement, then I know that you are all about motorsports too. And so you're probably just like me, growing up loving fucking machines. Motorcycles, cars, racing, anything that has a motor, building things, bro. And then somewhere along the fucking way, life starts saying, hey buddy, it's time to grow up. Hey buddy, you don't have time for that anymore. Hey buddy, you gotta be responsible, right? You know what I'm talking about, dog. The bills start showing up, the responsibilities start showing up, work starts taking over, and then suddenly, poof, all the things that made you once feel alive get pushed to the side because you have responsibilities to take care of, right? But every time I throw my leg over my bike, my bro, every time I twist the throttle, every time I hear that engine scream, I remember something important. Passion is fucking fuel. And every time I come back from a ride, and I have a good ass ride, I come back and the next day I wake up and it doesn't matter if I'm tired, if I only slept a couple hours that night because I was out riding and I had to go and grind the next morning. That next day, I feel more alive. I have more passion in me. I have more stamina, more focus. I'm more locked in because passion is fuel. And when you feed your passion, your soul becomes alive. And I'm talking real shit right here, bro. You see, passion is rocket fuel for your life. On the real shit. People just want to tell you that you got to be responsible, you got to take care of business. And I'm not saying do not be responsible. Let me make that real clear. I'm not saying do not take care of business. I'm not saying do not produce. I am saying go do all of that. But when you mix your passion into who you are and you let yourself become alive again and feel that burning desire that we have as men to thrive, what we fucking love, you show up as a different animal to go kill every other area of your life. Your business, your marriage, your mind, your body, your spirituality. Everything around you starts feeling on fire because you are on fire because you fed the soul the fuel that it needed. You see, when a man is passionate about something, his energy changes, dog. Straight up. He walks different, he talks different, he thinks bigger. Passion creates momentum, and momentum spreads. You feel it. You see a man when he's walking with fire, with passion, you feel it in his eyes, you feel the energy, you feel the frequency. You just can't deny that shit. Like think about, the last time that you had an epic ride. Or maybe you had a long ride with the boys, right? Or maybe for you it was racing, or you caught a random stranger out on the highway and you fucking fucked them up. I know that's happened to me a couple of times, right? Or that moment when you're pushing your machine to the edge, whatever it is for you, dog. After that ride, right? You were feeling alive. Your mind was clear. All your stress seemed to disappeared. Your emotion, like you were fucking on this emotional high. You got home and you're on bliss and you're like, holy shit. But then suddenly Monday doesn't feel so heavy. Suddenly, the next day, work doesn't feel so heavy. Suddenly, the next day, life doesn't feel so heavy. Why? Dog, because your passion was recharged by the fuel that you fed your soul. You see, men don't burn out because they work hard. Like, yo, if you're here and you're on my vibe and you follow this movement, then you already know that you work hard. Because if you didn't, then you wouldn't be with what we're about. We're hardworking individuals. We're high-performing men. We like things at a high level. But with that comes passion. With that comes fury. With that comes fucking drive. And if you feed your passion, your love for motorsports, and you use that to fuel every other area of your life, then my brother, whew, let me tell you, you don't know how much you're leaving on the table. You see, most men don't burn out because they work hard. Most men, they burn out because they stop doing what lights them on fire. I was just talking about this with one of my best friends last night. And I was like, yo, I am busier than ever. I am grinding. Sometimes I get 4 hours of sleep. Sometimes I get 5 hours of sleep. And then the next day I keep alive and I'm keep grinding. I go ride and I'm riding. I'm actually will argue that I'm riding less than ever, and yet I'm riding better than ever. And because I thrive, because I'm working on myself, because I've been on this mission for 650 plus days. Like you see the man now, but the man that I've been transforming into, that man has feedback. That man has data. That man right there can tell you that, yo, this and this and this and this works. And when you execute it for a long time, you start feeling on fire. And how is it that I'm 40? I'm the oldest I've ever been. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm fucking killing it. All because I am intentionally working on the areas that make me perform at a high level, dog. You see, passion is not a distraction. Passion is a necessity, especially for men like us. A lot of men feel guilty about making time for their passion, but like you shouldn't, bro. Like a lot of men, they'll think like, oh man, I should be working, right? And I'm not saying you shouldn't be working. You should be working, but you gotta make time for yourself, dog. Or man, I should be doing something more productive, man. Oh, I should be, man, I got a little spare time. I should go, and that's true because that's how we as high performing men think. Right? Any little time we get, we want to go squeeze it, we want to go make more money, we want to go do this thing. But here's the truth, dog. Passion makes you more productive. And so when you step away and you take a little ride, when you go work on your build for a little bit, when you go hit the track, when you have a little bit of stressful day and you go get in your car and you go make a couple pulls, whatever it is for you, dog, your brain resets. And so ideas, they start coming back to you. Creativity returns. The stress starts to disappear. And then when you come back to work, after that, boom, you're fucking sharper. Boom, you're more focused. Boom, you're recharged. This is why high performance always have an outlet. Like, yo, if you're on here, if you're all about high performance, if you're all about taking your life to the next level, this is why I am preaching this today, because I have data that backs it up, that when I feed my outlet of passion, when I feed my soul that fuel, and I put that fucking pump into my soul, and I feel it, that gasoline, motorsports, motorcycles, racing, whatever it is, that feeds my soul and that feeds your soul, dog, I start operating at a high level. And so high performers know that we need an outlet to go and fucking thrive. Because passion keeps the engine healthy. You see, passion reminds you who the fuck you really are, bro. When was the last time you truly felt alive? And not in some life or death scenario situation, but in a situation where you go on and you went and chased that adrenaline. You went and chased that high. You went and chased that high in a responsible motorsports way, right? I gotta make that clear there. When was the last time you reminded yourself who the fuck you really are and you chased that fucking adrenaline? See, life has this way of burning men up under our responsibilities. And I get it. We're high-performing men. We want to provide. We need to provide. We want to get our families ahead. And so a lot of the times that's all we think about. Work, bills, stress, the expectations, all this stuff of life, performing, so many things going on. And then you're like, oh my God, I start feeling guilty if I go give myself a little bit of time. But the reality is that if you map your emotions and how you feel and your schedule and you put it all together and you start seeing how you show up for the people around you when you remove your passions away from you because you're grinding, you don't have no time to grind, right? But then you do that same example and then you add passions to it. You're grinding. You take a little break. You go out for a night. You go enjoy yourself. Then you work, grind. You go and take another break. You feed your soul. You fill up that gas tank of fuel, of your internal motorsport passions and desire. Bam, you go back to work. Dog, that man will thrive more and will be more emotionally balanced and will be there. And people will be like, yo, this guy's on fire. And you actually create way more momentum, way more progress, way more results because you started feeding yourself. You see, passion, dog, pulls you back to the core of who the fuck you really are. So when you're riding hard, you know how it goes. There's no stress about work. There's no worrying about bills. There's no distractions. It's just you. It's just you and the machine. And in that moment, you know that moment, dog, it reconnects you with something deeper. It reminds you, oh, yo, I'm not here to just survive life. Yo, I'm here to live it fully. I'm here to thrive. I'm here to fucking give it all I got. And so when a man starts living fully, everything in life just fucking improves. You start feeling on fire. People around you start looking at you like, yo, you're fucking looking good. And I was like, I know, because I've been working on myself. Because I've been feeding the fire. Because I've been grinding. Because I've been pushing the limits. And so my question for you, my brothers, as we wrap this episode, is what is the thing that makes your soul come alive? Like for me, it's motorcycles. For me, it's racing. For me, it's fucking going fast. But probably motorcycles will take the lead out of all of them. I just have this love and passion and desire for fucking motorcycles. But for you, dog, what is the thing that makes you fucking truly come alive? And when was the last time that you actually made time for it? And my challenge for you this week, dog, is just I want you to do something important, right? I want you to schedule the time for your passion. That thing that you were just thinking about, that you're like, damn, I haven't done that in a long fucking time. Schedule time for that passion, dog. Whether it be riding, whether it be building something, whether it be hitting the track, whether it be working on your machine, whatever it is for you, dog, do the thing that makes you feel alive. Not someday, but this week. Get it done. Because a man without passion becomes tired. But a man with passion becomes fucking unstoppable. So feed the fire, burn the gasoline, and live this life. So feed the fire, burn the gasoline, and live this life wide fucking open. Let's get it. Yo, I'm driving the checkered flag deep into the ground, claiming victory for every single wide open warrior that's out there. My brother, this is your wake-up call. Break the chains, step out of the average, and become that badass motherfucker that you were born to be. This Live Wide Open movement isn't just a podcast. This is a mission that God has stamped in my heart and helping you rise as the purpose I live for. So lock this shit in and hit that subscribe button so you never miss another episode. And if today's message and let that fire in your chest, my brother, then don't you dare keep this shit to yourself. Fuel another brother. Send this to another motorhead. Send this to another gearhead. Send this to another warrior who's hungry for more. Because the truth of the matter is that building a better life for your family is non-negotiable. You got people who are depending on you. You've got a legacy to create. And those excuses that keep popping up in your mind, my brother, they'll never feed the fucking table. That's why it's time to get up. That's why it's time to lock in. And that's why it's time to get to fucking work, dog. This is your moment. This is your mission. This is your movement. And Wide Open is the fucking way. Let's go.